So there is a brand new change happening to the Ace in BTD6, which might change everything. At least how this tower in general deals with count balloons, that is, because the spy plane upgrade now got a very cool change. This is actually unlike anything I've ever seen before. It went from giving +1, just a straight +1 damage, to being a damage multiplier. It's not +2, guys. If you read the patch notes, it is X2 damage to camo balloons. So today we're going to be using the Spectre on Bazaar, but if we make the money, we might even go for the Sky Shredder as well, because these guys now I think have the potential to do a lot of damage. And I actually brought the numbers with me for the Spectre specifically because that's the tower that we're 100% going to buy. So look at this thing. The darts do 4 damage +1 ceramic bonus, and the bombs do 3 damage and have a +3 ceramic bonus. So instead of this getting +1 damage to camos, the numbers just get straight up doubled. How insane is that? And it's not just this, but it's also things like DDTs, right? These guys are just gonna be super good versus DDTs now. I'm trying to save enough money for Psy, so let's have them like this. Actually, maybe more like this into the middle now that I think about this. Can we actually have, yeah, they actually fit in the middle. Let's have them like this. And let's try and save up cash for these early rounds. We're gonna need, let's start with the Grape Shot. I also brought the Buccaneer, and I guess because the Buccaneer gives extra attack speed to all monkey aces, I think it's actually gonna work out well with the whole strategy that we're trying to do, but I can see something leaking in the back. Let's try to fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna have the Buccaneer on strong because we just wanna make these guys as weak as possible, the yellows and the pinks, and then I'm gonna spam the button for the Grape Shot, and then we're gonna go on first as soon as possible. So go like this, now go back on first, and we should be microing side because they can see the entirety of the map, but no, it seems like we're fine now. I guess if there's something out of the ordinary about having to go for the spy plane, it's the fact that maybe if you go for the Spectre, you usually want to go for the top crosspath, you want to go for the 204, but again, the middle path is kind of nice by itself because it does give, you know, a little bit of extra pierce on your attacks, and it makes the bomb stronger if I'm not mistaken. So it's definitely gonna be a trade-off, and definitely, you know, the Ninja Kiwi attempt to popularize this path as well. Oh, let's use this stun ability, by the way, some purples, which we cannot deal with as easily. Oh, look at that size stun, by the way, that's so good. But yeah, let's see how we can make this thing happen. So I would really love to go for double discount actually on this one. So 1 village up top, 1 down bottom. It's just the question is, are we holding? Yeah, there are gonna be a lot of balloons in this one, so let's chill for a second. I have a 2-2-0 by the way on this Buccaneer, and let's see if it's gonna be enough. Let's use the stun for these yellows, and I think it's gonna be fine actually. Yeah, there we go. But a very important thing for this entire run is gonna be to not over upgrade or actually just make sure we manage the foam is what I'm trying to say. So the damage that you get from a spy plane, the bonus damage is versus camo balloons, but if you decamo the balloons, you're not going to be getting the bonus damage. So, you know, things like the foam or the top path ice or the bottom path wizard, they're just absolutely out of the question. So no decamoing of these balloons by any means. Alright, so I want to buy the ace platform, but I'm kind of concerned about the placement of the second village and if it's going to be in range. So even though this is not the most efficient way to do it, I'm going to buy the ace platform first and then I'm going to buy the second village. Let's go like this. It's gonna be a nice DPS increase. Oh yeah, this is getting very close on 35, and if we survive this one, then 36 is definitely gonna be an issue. Oh my god, it's so close. We get 35 done, but we only have like 1.4k, so let's see how we do on 36. We have a Psy ability. Oh no, this one is gonna leak actually. Alright, how about we go for the new crossbow? When I say the new one, the razor sharp shots, if you go for the top path, it has a lot of pierce basically. So let's have it on last, so it's attacking down the straight line. I'm also gonna bring the ace on figure infinite. Now, let's see how much of a difference this is gonna make. Oh, that's actually so much better than last time. What? Wait a minute. Look at this guy's pierce now. I think it's 9 if I'm not mistaken, and it's, oh my god, Psy. I used the stun ability. It was a little bit late, but we held them. And now hopefully this is the only one. I'm gonna buy the sharper darts even on the ace. Please tell me this holds. Oh my god, what? This sucker is so good now. So the next thing is gonna be just the never miss, and I think if we get the never miss for round 40 plus maybe like an alchemist, we should be fine versus the Moab. I actually don't think the never miss is negotiable, so I'm just gonna buy it because this is gonna be a nice damage boost. And yeah, let's see how we do versus the Moab now. So let's buy actually the MVP, the spy plane upgrade. We're gonna have some camos on 42 anyway, so we're gonna need it. But let's see how much damage we have versus this Moab. And guys, I'm gonna be honest, this is not looking good. I mean, the Moab is leaving size range, which means it's basically leaving the range for the level 3 ability, so we don't want that happening. Okay, so let's go for an alchemist and AMD. I guess we can go for the stronger acid, just kind of cope a little bit with the damage. But yeah, this is kind of a problem if you go for the mill path, right? Well, we don't have a pad, but it's exactly the same, right? And it's the lack of darts this thing is attacking with. Let's use the stun ability, by the way. So Sai's gonna hold 3 of these ceramics, and we need to pop 1 of them. And is this gonna be... oh my god, that's ridiculously close. It's gonna be enough, but basically you need more darts is what I'm saying, because the Alex synergy is just gonna be that much better. Alright, so I think we finally can say that we have stabilized. So let's buy the MVP upgrade, which is gonna be the spy plane, so 2x damage. We're gonna see our first camos on this one, and how is it gonna look? It's leaving them directly to like yellows and blues, which is really good actually. Alright, let's give this guy the Berserker Brew and the Perishing Potions for the brew duration. And how are things looking? Yeah, we're likely gonna need the Spectre as soon as possible, it seems like. If there's one thing going our way, is that whenever you buy this Never Miss Ace, like the 40s are just straight up not gonna be an issue. So I'm gonna use Science level 3 ability just to stun these ceramics, and if we pop these guys, and after them we're gonna have some rainbows, which we shouldn't have an issue with. There we go. And then we're more than halfway there for the Spectre, so I would expect like what, mid 50s at the latest for us to have this thing. We're gonna have some more Bloons of 51, by the way, and it's gonna be ceramics. So let's see how we deal with these guys. Oh yeah, look at this thing. It's almost like an entire barrage of darts seem to be eliminating just like one single ceramic, which is really good. And Sai's taking care of the other one, so this is like not even close. Yeah, you can definitely feel the extra damage. Let's see how we're doing in 53, by the way. We're gonna have 3 Moabs on this one. We popped the first one. I think we can dump the stun if necessary, but I'm gonna try and keep it for 54, because 54 has ceramics plus Moabs, and there we go. We survived 53. Missing about $2,000 for the Spectre, and we are actually leaking on 54, so it was a good decision to save the level 3. You guys know what? I just noticed that the level 9 is actually $1,000. I don't mind buying this. This is a very strong upgrade, because Sai can now target 2 different Bloons at once. Yeah, so let's go like this. Let's use the stun ability for the first Moab, and as long as we deal with the first one and deal with the small Bloons, I think the second one is going to be a piece of cake, right? Because now we're going to be able to essentially hold all of the insides, and previously we weren't able to do that. Yeah, exactly. And there it is, round 56. So right on time, we get the money for the Spectre. I'm just going to buy this thing straight up. This is one of the main beneficiaries. I mean, we're talking about the Spectre, of course, but the Flying Fortress benefits from this thing as well, guys. If you're doing the Flying Fortress, you're running Rosalia, you get the discount onto this thing. I mean, this thing is going to slap even further for sure. You guys know what I'm curious about? Because this Spy Plane upgrade now essentially doubles the camo Bloon damage. If I Alg buff this guy, does the extra Alg damage also get doubled? I would assume no, but if it does, that is just like straight OP territory, right? Because the Alg gives like +1 damage flat and then +1 to Moabs and ceramics. And if that thing gets doubled, it's like a free +4 damage to every single camo Bloon, which is wild. And just on our note, 63 is absolutely not an issue, especially if you go for the middle crosspad because of the extra pierce on the bombs. So yeah, this is just like not even close, and it's not gonna be even close, like I want to say, until we reach free play mode. So for the next 2 rounds, I think we're just going for the overclock and maybe the Sky Shredder, but I'm not 100% decided on that yet. Back at 75, as usual, this is gonna be a piece of cake. So let me just buy some things while we are here. Let's go for the MIB. This is gonna be necessary for the Spectre versus DDTs. Let's also go for the overclock and make sure we set the foam, like, I guess on the roof of this little house. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we're not decamoing anything, and then we're gonna be using the overclock for the Spectre. And I've still not decided, guys. I've still not made the decision if we're going for the Sky Shredder. So let's see how the money goes into free play, and we're gonna decide. Alright, finally entering free play mode. This is where things usually get a little bit trickier for the Spectre, and it starts slowly falling off. So you either buy something else, or you make sure you mega buff this thing. Now we have 2 options. Option number 1 is we go for the Sky Shredder, as we mentioned, or option number 2 is we go for the Carrier Flagship, which does have an attack speed buff to all aces, which is gonna include the Spectre, obviously. Yeah, let's actually do that. I'm gonna buy the Call to Arms. We're missing a lot of money for the Carrier Flagship, but the Call to Arms is a little bit better for the cash spend. I mean, the Carrier Flagship is only gonna be like a marginal DPS upgrade, which we're buying just because we can, but we're still gonna do it. It's actually gonna offer some DPS by itself. And here goes 84, so not that many issues so far. I guess we could just get on with buying the Carrier Flagship now. And the Flagship is gonna offer a little bit of damage by itself, but I don't plan on giving camo detection. As you guys are noticing, we're going for the millipede, so yeah, it's only gonna be the Spectre, guys, and the Spy Plane upgrade versus all these DDTs and everything. So let's do the first overclock. Let's make sure we get rid of these guys as fast as possible, and I think I'm gonna dump the Call to Arms for the first time ever on 87, because these rounds with an odd number are kind of interesting. So our Spectre is, and I guess the best way if a round is coming from the right side is to have the Spectre on Figure Infinite. But for these more difficult rounds, I think we might want to go for center path and actually have it here towards the right side so that the angle is a little bit nicer than this. So let's use the call to arms to make sure we just deal with these ZOMGs as fast as possible. That's 89. Alright, so our first DDT is in round 90. This is actually a good round because they're coming out from the right side, obviously, because it's an even number. The overclock is coming off cooldown in a second. Let's not overclock it for the first ones. I think these guys don't exactly pose that big of a threat for us, and yeah, it's a late pop. It's a late pop for sure, but we're not helping this guy in any capacity. Yeah, we have a lot of things left to do, so let's first things first, let's start with something like this, like a glue, which is gonna be nice. Actually, let me get the flagship first. Let's overclock, let's use the call to arms so we deal with these guys as fast as possible. I'm gonna get the flagship, so bam, we get a little bit of extra attack speed now. And now we're gonna go for the glue, which is going to be very close to the alchemist, actually. Not ideal for sure. It's gonna be taking away the buff a little bit, but this is a necessary tower for sure. So let's overclock this round 92 and a bunch of ZOMGs, make sure we're getting the upgrades going. We're buying this under a double discount. Absolutely love stuff like this, by the way. We're only saving like maybe, I don't know, like in the hundreds or maybe in a couple of $1,000s at max. Alright, round number 2 with DDTs, 93. So how are we doing now? We are overclocked. The overclock is 100% uptime because it's a tier 4 tower, and we can do a couple of things. We can stun with Psy or we can use the call to arms, but I would rather just not do anything and see how we do. Oh, that's so much better than last time. Alright, so now with the overclock and the carry flagship buff, look at what this thing does. Yep, I'm telling you guys, whatever the tower does, it just needs a little bit of help. Just a tiny bit of support goes a very long way. Let's see how we do on 94. It's doing fine so far, but I still do think that we need to just like keep the overclock going, and I wouldn't even mind using the call to arms because I'm pretty sure it's gonna come off cooldown for 95 anyway. So let's just dump it. And yeah, there goes 94 with absolutely no issues. The call to arms is about halfway there, which I don't exactly like. Nah, it's fine, it's back. Alright, 95, the big one. So it's very important that we actually stack all of these DDTs here in like this little top left corner of the map. So let's go like this, overclock, call to arms immediately, and then with the help of the glue and the stun of the relentless, we just need to keep these DDTs like this. If they start escaping to the right side, it's just so many problems for us, but we need to watch the duration on the call to arms, which is, it's still ongoing, but it's gonna stop any second now. Then we need to use the level 3 Psy ability. There we go. How is it looking? Do we need to use the Psy stun? I don't think so. I think we just handled these DDTs. Oh my god. Yup, we handled these guys no problem. There we go. Yup, that's so good actually. And take a look at this extra pierce. Everyone is in a straight line, so basically all of these guys are just getting mowed down by our Spectre. And now for 98, here's the plan. I'm just gonna dump the call to arms because I want to get rid of these ZOMGs and basically this round as fast as possible. And then for 99, you guys know what? I'm actually not gonna use the call to arms. Let's see if we can deal with 45 DDTs without actually helping the Spectre too much. 98 is looking a little bit tricky. This is where we actually need the extra pierce from the Spectre, believe it or not. And let's, if we're using an ability, it's gonna be the level 10 and not the level 3 because I want to use the level 3 for the DDTs on the next one and the stun. So let's, you guys know what, let's just pop the ZOMG and let's just do this. Let's just use the side level 10 ability, get rid of everyone. Yeah, there we go. We just need the entirety of the round gone, and whatever's left over, the small balloons, is gonna get dealt with by the Spectre. And now for 99, no call to arms, the overclock is active, and the only thing that we're allowed to use is gonna be the side stun. So let's see if we can actually do it. So the 45s, they are, oh, look at this thing, they're actually escaping. Alright, so no call to arms, so let's go like this. Let's use the side stun. We're gonna have 3 pulses. That's pulse number 2, and then pulse number 3, which is gonna get everyone. And is the Spectre gonna be enough? It's looking like it is, guys. It's looking like it is. Extra damage, yes, that's so good. Oh my god, that was perfect. I absolutely love 99. I'm telling you guys, this spy plane upgrade, the extra damage, very nice. We should be doing this on the Sky Shredder actually, or maybe even the Flying Fortress. I mean, if this thing is slapping, then the Flying Fortress is just gonna go super hard. See how we're doing with the bat though. We do have some Psy ability, so let's use the stun, and as soon as we pop the ZOMG layer, I think just the level 10 ability should solve this. So let's make sure just we're popping them, boom, use the level 10, and that's gonna be about it. Alright, so very cool change. X2 damage. Tell me if you guys know if this works with the Alchemist, by the way, because if it does, it's kind of OP actually. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.